This trade is huge for the Seattle Kraken, as well as a Toronto Maple Leaf makes his return tonight, which will make a massive impact. We'll break all this down for you coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we just want to say that 82.8% of you guys watching aren't subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, make sure to go down below, smash that subscribe button, become part of the community here, because we'll be here all season long. Keep me up to date on what's happening around the league. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, which is Kraken trade for Tatar. And as we take a look here, the Seattle Kraken acquired Tomas Tatar from the Colorado Avalanche yesterday for a 2024 fifth-round pick. And Mark, if you ask me, I really do think that this is a solid trade at a great price here. Obviously, Tomas Tatar, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know how much of a fan of Tomas Tatar I am. I really like this trade for the Kraken. Really think he's going to add some much-needed offense to this bottom six.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You kind of look at the Kraken, and they're dealing with quite a bit of injuries. I mean, Schwartz is down, Burakovsky's down. So right now, bringing Tatar in for a cheap price, I mean, it was a low-round pick. You bring some leadership into the locker room, a guy that can still produce on the offensive end. He could even slot into the power play too if you wanted. So it is a nice depth add. This is a guy that could play in your top six, bottom six, middle six. You could kind of plug and play him around this lineup. And I know they've recalled Shane Wright as well. So it's nice to see Shane Wright make it back into Seattle's lineup and bringing a guy like Tatar, like I said, power play two guy. You can even slot him on a power play one in a pinch if you wanted to. He'll bring offense. He's not going to be a great defensive piece for you, but I think the Kraken have enough defensive forwards and just defensive depth that you can kind of work around his weakness in that sense. So I think it's a great pickup. It's a low risk, high reward. And the worst case, you can place this guy on waivers or maybe trade him at deadline if the Kraken are looking to add in another piece or in a bigger picture kind of trade.
Yeah, like I said, I really like this ad, and we're going to take a look at Tomas Tatar's stats here. So far this season, he has 9 points with Colorado in 27 games, and as we see here, he is a goal scorer. Just last season, he did score 20 goals, with his career high being 25, and obviously, Mark, this is a guy who plays a little bit of a two-way game, too. You can see here, he's not afraid to block a few shots. He throws the body around a little bit as well, and we're just going to take a look at his contract here at a great price of 1.5 million for this season. I think this is a great ad for the Kraken, who really need this type of player in their bottom six. And as we take a look at where we think he might slot in here, we do see up on that top line left wing Ty Cartier, I believe his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. He just got sent back down to the Coachella Firebirds, so we might see. My prediction here is Jared McCann will slide back up. Tolvanen will slide up to the second line, and then we could see Tatar slotted in here on this third line with Yanni Gordon, Oliver Bjorkstrand. And I really do think that third line of Tatar, Gord, and Bjorkstrand will be fireworks throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, because that's like you kind of said, he's a 20 goal scorer. He's done it multiple times in his career. So at the very best, you get a 20 goal scorer at a cheap cost, 1.5 mil. If it's a bad contract and he's not playing well, you can bury this guy in the minors. It'll take about a mil off the salary. So you still pay about 500K against the cap on the NHL team. So like I said, best case, 20 goal scorer. Worst case, you can trade this guy, use him in a bigger trade, bear him in the minors. And like I said, he's a power play two guy. He's a power play specialist. He's a guy that's going to put up points. So I think this is an outstanding move for the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, this guy, he was my favorite player when he played in Montreal. Really love this guy. You're going to get multiple scoring chances out of him a night, and he has such a great shot that he can bury it in the net with ease. And like you said, he adds a lot of leadership to this kind of a younger group, I guess you could say. He's been there. He's been on multiple different teams. So I really do think that this is a great ad for the Kraken, and getting him for a fifth-round pick, I think, is a steal. I think this, like you said, he's a multiple-time 20 goal scorer. Really think he could put these numbers up again this year, and he's really going to help make this Seattle roster more offensive throughout this lineup. Really excited to see what he can do here in Seattle, and just got to say, Tomas Tatar is back. Let's go. We're going to get into our second topic of the video today, and that is Timothy Liljgren makes his return tonight. And as we take a look here from David Alter, he says Timothy Liljgren Liljegren says he's ready to go. Will return to the lineup for the first time since November 2nd tonight. And as we take a look at his stats throughout the first part of the season, he did have 1 point in 10 games, but he's more of a, I guess, two-way defenseman. I guess you could look at him as, like, last year he had 107 hits, 93 blocks, and this season he had 18 blocks and 8 hits before he went down with that injury. And Mark, I know you're really excited to see this guy back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing Brody's currently out with an illness as well. So Liljegren's actually sliding into the top line with Riley. I'm excited to see this. I know it's going to be a lot of pressure for a guy coming back off an injury, but overall, getting him back in the lineup's massive. I know we've had guys like Legason, Benoit, both have looked outstanding in their stints with the Leafs. Timmins he's a bit rough on times, but other times he has looked good, especially during the preseason. He was just outstanding. But getting Liljegren back in this lineup, it's getting this guy that's been in the system. He knows the system. I know a lot of people might not like him because he's a bit smaller. He might not throw highlight reel hits, but this is a guy that's just defensively sound. He knows how to break up plays. He can stop people entering the zone. And I think getting him back is going to be in a massive sense of we're going to see improvement on this right side and in the defense on a whole, especially once we get Brody back and he slides back in with Riley. Then you might run McCabe, and then you still have Liljegren, and then you have so many options with Gio out. You still have Benoit, Legason, Timmins. There's so many people to work with on this defensive end, and we're not at full health. We still have trades that are upon us. So I think getting Liljegren is going to be massive, like I said. For the defensive end, I do hope he picks his offense up a bit. Maybe we might see him highlight maybe the second power play a couple times, especially with a lot of injuries, Klingberg out and all this. But it's exciting to get him back. I think he's going to be outstanding. I think he's already been outstanding this year, and I think we're going to notice an instant impact on the defensive end from a guy like this.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. And like you said, this guy's a rock back there. He's known for shutting down some of the best offensively gifted forwards in the NHL. You really like to see a guy like this come back, especially when when the fans are a little bit disgruntled with how the defense have played recently. I don't think they've been too bad in my opinion, but getting a guy back like this is going to be a huge impact. Like you said here, he's a guy who's going to shut down a lot of offenses. He has a little bit of a two-way game. We might see his offense pick up here. I know we only have 1 point through 10 games, but like you said, he's going to have more opportunity now with some players out due to injury, and I really do think that this is really going to boost this guy, and he's really going to have a great rest of the year here. Hopefully he can stay healthy so we can see that.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I'm a bit of a stats nerd. I love analyzing the game in different ways. And what I noticed last game when they were playing against Columbus was the defense almost retreated too much on the blue line, which gave Columbus a lot of opportunity to get to the net, get shots on net, and they weren't really stopping it. But in the game against Pittsburgh tonight, or if you're watching this tomorrow, the game last night, Pittsburgh's game, just keep an eye on Liljegren. He's going to stop a lot of players from entering the zone. Like I said, if you go back and watch the highlights, the defense almost collapsed too early to get the forwards in for Columbus. So I think this is going to be an instant impact, like I said, and we're going to notice a huge difference on the defensive end for the Leafs.
Yeah, and this is a guy who always got his stick in the action. He's either with a poke check, he's either knocking pucks out of the air. This guy, he's just such a great player, and it's great to see him back because, I mean, Toronto has been riddled with defensive injuries this year, and now we're seeing these guys come back. And like you said, the replacements of Benoit and Lagesson coming up have been great. They've played really well, but, you know, getting your regular guys back, I mean, this is just going to be huge for the Leafs, and their defense is going to be very much more sound going forward, and I can't wait to see it. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Curtis. He says, already subbed. Good content. Shout out to you, Curtis. We appreciate it out in the comment section all the time. Appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody's support on the channel by liking the videos, by commenting. Really appreciate to see it. And make sure to comment down below. What do you think about this Kraken trade for Tomas Tatar? What do you think about Liljegren coming back tonight? Let us know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers before Christmas. We're just under a week away, so if you're not already subbed, make sure to go down, give us an early Christmas gift, subscribe to the channel. But if you enjoy the NHL, make sure to check this video out that's popping up on your screen right now. But I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.